quite a special picture with the two, which I thought was quite sweet.
This is the first time that the two of us have ever spoken about her as a mother.
Believe it or not, you and I are both in this photograph.
Right. Okay.
You're in the tummy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Arguably, probably a little bit too raw up until this point. It's still raw.
There's not many days that go by that I don't think of her. Her 20th anniversary year feels like a good time to remember, all the good things about her and hopefully provide maybe a different side to her that others haven't seen before.
To celebrate the life and legacy of Diana, Princess of Wales, her sons are sharing their most intimate memories of her for the first time.
We felt, incredibly loved, her and I, and I'm very grateful that love still feels there.
It was that love that even if she was on the other side of a room, that you, as a son, you could feel it.
I think the thing is that, as documentary filmmakers, you're always looking for a story that hasn't been told. And although scores of documentaries have been made over the years about Princess Diana, she's probably one of the most scrutinised people in the world. Nobody has ever told this story from the point of view of the two people who knew her better than anyone else.
And loved her the most.
And loved her the most, her sons. I think you get the private Diana from this film. I mean, in some ways, we all know our children see us in ways that nobody else does. And I think William and Harry saw their mother in ways that no one else did. And what you get a sense, the thing that surprised me most, is what they say about her sense of humour, as a practical joker, her capacity for naughtiness.
Our mother was a total kid through and through. When everybody says to me, so she was fun, give us an example, all I can hear is her laugh in my head. And that sort of crazy laugh of where there was just pure happiness shown on her face. One of her mottos to me was, you can be as naughty as you want, just don't get caught. She was one of the naughtiest parents. She would come and watch us play football and smuggle sweets into our socks. And I mean, like literally walking back from a football match and having sort of 5 packets of Starburst, and just the whole shirt was just bulging with sweets. And then I was sort of looking around, open the top box, throw it all in, lock it up.
I think if you're a member of the royal family, it's part of your job, it's your duty really to spend a lot of your life in the public spotlight. And I think that makes you very naturally protective of your privacy. So to talk about something that's so personal, I'm sure that Prince William and Harry gave it a lot of thought before agreeing to do this. And when they did agree to do it, they did it absolutely wholeheartedly. And we were really amazed at how open and trusting they've been in terms of revealing their feelings and their memories of their mother.
What amazed me was what she'd actually done. Like the first person to destigmatise AIDS, HIV, landmines, mental health, child bereavement, all these enormous issues, like championing the homeless, often in the face of criticism from politicians and, the editors of national newspapers. This is very much early phase. We put in pioneering lanes to see what's going on. I don't think you ever get over it, and I think that's one of the things in the film. I mean, you know, the Duke of Cambridge talks about, 7 or 8 years of kind of anguish before he began to sort of emerge from that blur of grief. And I think that they say in the film, that she's with them every day.
Believe it or not, you and I are both in this photograph. You're in the tummy.
This is the first time that the two of us have ever spoken about her as a mother.
She was very informal and really enjoyed the laughter and the fun.
She was one of the naughtiest parents.
But she understood that there was a real life outside of palace walls.
She was our mum, she still is our mum, and of course, as a son, I would say that she's the best mum in the world.
She smothered us with love, that's for sure.
We were certainly never asked by the palace to avoid particular issues. There was no kind of editorial direction from anyone. But in terms of actually the film we set out to make, the story we set out to tell is the story you haven't heard before.
You scared?
Both Prince William and Prince Harry talk about how their mother really tried to give them as normal an upbringing as it was possible in the circumstances. And that's something they've really taken to heart. And Ashley and I, when we set out to make this film, at the back of our minds was the thought that hopefully if it's successful, what we had in mind is that in the years to come, Prince William and Prince Harry will be happy to show this film to their own children and say, this is who your grandmother was.